welcome to my channel. My name is Irene and today I am building my underwater lake manor. I've created an underwater house before on my channel. It's my Bora Bora underwater house. And yeah, I've had so much fun creating that. I'm actually getting married in a couple of weeks and I was inspired by my honeymoon to create a Bora Bora underwater house. But yeah, I really wanted to do one again, but I wanted to do something different than just a normal house with water under it, of course. But I didn't have a perfect idea in mind, so I've built a couple of other things. And yeah, I was on Pinterest the other day and just getting some inspiration, just browsing through pictures. Pinterest is actually the #1 spot for me to get my inspiration and to find amazing homes. And then I came across an amazing villa or manor, or a little bit like a castle. Oh well, it was a very big house in an amazing lake and it looks so cool. And yeah, I saw it and I immediately wanted to build it. And yeah, at first I just wanted to build the home on the picture, but then I was just trying out a couple of things. And then the whole idea occurred to me that I could create a perfect underwater house out of this. So here is the end result. I'm creating the house right now. As you can see, at first there is no lake. As you can see, I'm just creating the house and later on I will create the water around it. After my previous underwater house, I've got some questions about how to create an underwater house. So I really wanted to give you some tips during this speed build video. As I was saying, first create just the shape of the house you want. For me, that's the most easy way to do it. When you create a whole water, the sea or the lake first, and you want to place the house on top of it, you can do that, but you have to create the basements in the water at first, so you create the ground again and then you can build a house on it. You cannot build a house just straight on the water. So for me, this is just the most easy way to do it. As you can see, there are a lot of roofs in this house again. It has a very typical style. It's very romantic, very luxurious with a lot of white and a lot of patterns in the walls. And the upper area, that's what I'm creating right now, the whole area that is actually above the water, it's not very, typically a house. It's more like a museum. It has some art pieces and some statues. And in the corner there will be a stair, and if you're going down the stairs you get in your amazing underwater manor, and it's very luxurious. It has 2 big bedrooms, a big bathroom, a big kitchen. It has a lot of artwork, a lot of statues. It's the same in the part that is above the water. And yeah, I thought it was just very cool. It is a little bit over the top, the whole interior with all the patterns and everything. But yeah, when I have a theme in mind, I just wanted to go with the theme and just wanted to go all the way. So that's why I've done that. Over here I'm already creating the hedges and the greenery. I just cut a part out of the video, as you can see. The placement of the hedges, it wasn't that difficult. You have to place just a lot of them next to each other. And I use the shift key when I'm placing an object. When you press in the shift key, when you're placing an object, the object will duplicate, so you can immediately place the same object again, and it works way faster for me. And I use the Alt key and obviously the Move Objects cheat. I always use the Move Object cheat when I'm building. And then you can move the objects freely around the grid, and yeah, with Alt pressed in. And that's how I've created the hedges. It was a little bit repetitive, so that's why I've cut it out of it. And I've used these archways. I never used a wedge. Is that the correct word? I'm not sure, but I've used the arches, as you can see. They are from the Romantic Garden bag. I've had it back for a while, and yeah, I'm not using it that much, but in this build it was just so fitting for it, and especially for the exterior and the whole garden thingies and around the pool and with the statues outside. It was just so perfect for it, so I used a lot in this build. I've actually get the question a lot about what packs I'm using. And normally when I'm building for YouTube or for Instagram, I actually have an Instagram page too for TheSimStream. Follow me if you want. But actually when I'm building, I really like to be not that distracted with my packs. So I have almost every pack. I don't have the bowling pack thing, I think, and I don't have the pet stuff pack, but I have every other pack, and I really like to build just freely and use every pack I have. So normally when people are asking which pack I've used, I mostly use 10 or 15 different ones, so every one of them. But mostly there's one pack or two that are standing out and where I use a lot of items from. And over here it is the Romantic Garden pack, and it was actually the Strangerville pack, because these amazing doors that I was just placing in, and the same for these amazing looking windows, they're so fitting for this build, and they are from the Strangerville pack. And I think the windows from the Strangerville pack are the ones that I used the most when I'm talking about objects from the Strangerville pack. I really love the pack. I'm saying pack a lot, don't I? Oh well. But I really love the pack. But the whole gameplay aspect, I was just through the story in I think a couple of hours, and that wasn't that bad because I'm usually building in The Sims. And the whole build items, yeah, I thought they were cool. So especially these windows that I'm using. I'm placing a fountain in at the front. I removed the one I've put in first, and after that I've placed this one in. And this one is actually from the Romantic Garden pack again. But it was very strange because it wasn't in the fountain menu. It was just in the statue menu, so in the decoration menu. So that's why I didn't place it in first, but later on I found it in that menu, and I think it's way more fitting for it. As you can see, I am creating the water of the lake right now. As I was saying, I've created the whole shape of the house first, and after that I'm just placing the pools all around it, and it just works way easier than placing a house just on top of the water. As you can see, it's just very easy. Just put a point at every corner of your house. And when I'm creating houses in the sea, I just make the edges straight, because obviously we can't attach our lots to the sea, so I just make the edges straight. But when I'm creating a lake, like over here, I'm creating very irregular shapes with a lot of corners and a lot of diagonal things, and yeah, I think it just looks more natural, especially when I paint the ground around it in a brown color. I think it just looks way better. As you can see on the right and on the left of your screen right now, I've used those red plants. They are from the Get to Work pack, and I'm not sure if they were alien because obviously there's an alien planet or civilization or thing. Oh, I wish there was a civilization, but there are alien Sims in the Get to Work pack, and I wasn't sure if the plants were from an alien planet or something, but I just thought they looked cool in this build. I just thought they looked like red bushes that were growing over the arches, and yeah, that's why I invented it. But it was actually the very first time I've used these plants. I was talking about the whole brown thing at the edges of the lake. As you can see, I've just put the whole brown thing in, and I think immediately it looks way better and way more realistic. And right now I'm giving the whole outdoor area his finishing touches. These benches, as you can see, are also from the Romantic Garden pack. And yeah, I thought this fountain looked very, very cool. Later on I will place a lot of trees around the lake, as you can see right here. I think when I'm placing in the trees and the greens and the plants in my builds, it just make the builds look so much better. They look way more realistic with just a couple of trees. And yeah, I went a little bit overboard with this, but in my mind It was a lake not really in the middle of a forest, but maybe in a very big park or something, with a lot of trees around it. If you saw the picture that I will put in the description box, that was my inspiration. It isn't actually the case on the picture, but I just thought it looked very cool, and I think with all the plants surrounding the lake looks even more realistic. Especially with its ferns. These ferns are from the Jungle Adventure pack, and I use them very, very much in my builds when I'm creating water. I think it looks just way more realistic with all the plants into it. Yeah, I think we're almost done with the exterior parts of this build. And just now, the interesting part of this build will begin. Oh, first I will place in all the lights. Lights are so important in my builds. It just gives the whole build a better look, and especially at night, of course. They're so important, and sometimes I just forget them, but yeah, they're very, very important, and I always place them just at the end when I'm ready with my build, so I can place it at the right spots. But as I was saying, the most interesting part of this build will start almost the creation of the underwater parts of this build. And I've got the question about how to create an underwater house a lot actually. And yeah, when you know how to do it, it's so easy to do it. Oh, over here I am placing in some finishing touches, these water lilies. I think they're very, very cool. And the mailbox, oh, I always forget to place in mailboxes, and then I play the game with a sim in the house. And yeah, it just places a mailbox in the middle of a room, and I think it's just so stupid. But well, I remembered to place it in right here. But yeah, how to create the underwater house. It's actually very easy. You just have to go a level down. And when you do that, as you can see right here, and when you do that, you just place in a basement or a room. When you're level down like this, you just place in a room. You just draw it out. But actually under the house that you've already created. Because when you do it in the water, when you create a room just in the water, it actually shows the ground on top of the water, of course. So that's not a very good method, but as you can see here, it was ready in just a couple of minutes. It was so easy. Just place a room under it, or if you're you can also do it just at the level where I am right now. Just place a basement in. And yeah, that's the whole thing. It isn't any more difficult actually. And yeah, I really like to put in a lot of windows, as you can see right here. Because if this was a real house, you were really living underwater, we really wanted to see the whole underwater world, right? Especially when you're in an ocean or in a sea, of course. But I think in a lake like this, the whole color of the water, maybe it's a little bit less see-through, but well. But yeah, it actually wasn't that easy. It wasn't that difficult, as you can see. And well, I think I've said enough for now. If you have some more questions about how to create an underwater house or about anything else, please let me know. The rest of this video I will be creating the interior of the underwater manor, of course, and right now I'm creating the interior of the whole entrance part. As I was saying, it's a little bit of a museum with a lot of expensive pieces and a lot of artwork and everything. And later on I will create the interior of the underwater manor. I really hope you've liked this video and you will like the rest of it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I would really appreciate it. I have so much more builds in store for you. And yeah, I'm just starting out on YouTube, and it would be amazing if you wanted to join this adventure with me. And yeah, I really hope to talk to you very soon. Have an amazing day and goodbye.